Hi, Tom Anderson, day 61 of 100 Days of Thankfulness. Yesterday I was talking about the importance of doing what you love, and I realized after I shot that video that not everyone is going to have such a clear picture of what it is that they do love or what it is they want to get out of life. So what I want to do is spend the next 2 weeks each day talking about one new daily habit that you can add to accomplish your lifelong dream. Starting with today, which is day 1, which is on the importance of having a dream. And I also want to talk about why I'm so thankful for Dexter Yager, who is the highest income earner of the Amway Corporation. He's actually the highest income earner of every MLM organization out there. But he's huge on dreams. You know, he talks about how, the how. So I'm going to be spending the next 2 weeks talking about the how isn't nearly as important as the why, which is what I'm talking about today. You need to know why you're doing what it is, you need to know what you're after. Unless you have that why, unless you have that burning desire, the how doesn't matter because you're not going to do it anyways. So once you have that why, and there's a number of things that I've learned from different authors on how to get that why. One of them is Stephen Covey, who is the author of 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And one of his habits, he teaches about beginning with the end in mind. So what you want to do there is you want to imagine your own funeral and imagine what the people at that funeral are saying about you, and imagine what they're saying about your life, and that will help bring into focus what you want your life to be all about. The other way you can go is from a quote from C.S. Lewis, where he says, "You're never too old to set a new goal or to dream a new dream." So think about when you're a kid and it just all came so naturally to, you have such an imagination, and you imagine what you're going to be in the future, and it was just all up in the air, and you had all these big ideas. But eventually, as you get older, reality starts to set in, and we start to let these dreams go. And it's so important not to lose those dreams. I talked about when I was in kindergarten and I wanted to be a marine biologist. That's not my lifelong dream anymore, but there's a certain aspect to it, I think, in some of what I shared about what I want to do or what my future self is going to be like. And so, start there too. Think about when you're a kid. I actually decided to film up here in my kids' clubhouse because I realized they have this really cool plastic telescope. And, as adults, we look through that telescope and we might point it down on the ground and we might, look at the reality of where we are today. But as kids, you're going to be looking straight up and you're going to be looking up at the clouds. We need to do more of that. We need to be looking up towards the future possibilities. And it really doesn't matter in our mind. It might seem like that's something that's so far out of reach that it's just a pipe dream that's never going to happen. But what Dexter Yager, he started from very humble beginnings, and obviously he's had a hugely successful life. But he teaches that success is the progressive realization of a worthwhile dream. So it's not about becoming a success overnight. It's not like I'm going to teach these 14 concepts at the end of these 14 days you're going to be this sudden huge success. Success isn't about even reaching that destination. Success is about the journey. It's about progressively getting closer and closer towards whatever it is you're shooting for. And so he talks about how once you have this picture of what it is you want to be like, it's so important to write it down. That starts to bring focus into, once you put it into words, and it could be a bucket list, or it could be kind of just a story or a picture of what it is you want to be like. But if you write it all down, that starts to bring it into focus. And then the next step he teaches is to go out and actually visualize it by cutting out pictures of it. You find magazines and cut out pictures of whatever it is that you're pursuing, whatever it is you want. And then the final step, he says, is go out and touch it, if you can. And I talked about how when I was living in the mobile home, and Karen and I went and we visited the parades of home, and at the Parade of Homes, we were just like, wow, it started to seep in at that point that, maybe we could own a house this nice someday. And sure enough, that eventually became a reality. But had we not gone through that exercise, of doing that, we probably would have just gone from that mobile home to, a starter home, and I don't know if we ever would have, left that starter home had we not, taken to heart what Dexter Yager teaches you, which is to go out and actually, go see what it is that you envision yourself eventually having, at some point way in the future. So I just want to thank Dexter Yager for teaching me those principles and just helping me to realize that we don't have to start enjoying life once we've gotten there. We can start enjoying life right now. Once we have that destination in mind, once we start the journey, it's a very happy journey. So thanks again to Dexter Yager.